Cole and Hank turned onto the street in South Phoenix. The first cargo van they were interested in was 2 blocks ahead. According to the ad, it was 2 years old, had around 100,000 miles on it, and was in great mechanical shape. The current owner hadn't listed a reason for selling it. They'd look it over carefully, for sure. They didn't need a van wanted in a crime, especially when they were using it to commit a crime of selling illegal drugs to corrupt government people, Liza Holdings. The neighborhood was bad. That was obvious. Hank was silent as he slowly drove his beat-up Dodge pickup down the narrow street parked full of vehicles. Slabs were full of vehicles. There were vehicles parked on yards. Some of them were on ramps while being repaired, while others had hoods up showing the empty cavity where an engine once was. Houses were old. People had stopped caring years ago about nice yards or homes. Repairs had been neglected. Cole knew crime was high in this side of town. He wondered if this was where Hank met with his suppliers. It probably was. It was an area of town Cole wouldn't consider coming into without his Glock 26. It was an area of town where wheels could disappear from a vehicle or windows smashed to get whatever valuables one might have. Cole took a look around the cab of Hank's pickup. Discarded food wrappers or empty cigarette packs didn't have any resale value, he thought with amusement. Up ahead, he pointed to their left. Hank nodded. He squeezed the pickup between 2 small cars with shiny wheels and spoilers. Cole would love to drive one of those cars. He'd bet they could cruise and sound cool doing it. They got out. Hank locked his pickup. Cole and him stared at the van across the street. The for sale sign in the windshield told them it was the van they were looking for. It looked clean. Someone had taken care of it. They walked around but didn't see any scratches or dents. The owner came out. He wore jeans that sagged under his gut. He made Hank look skinny, Cole thought, and Hank was not skinny. The 3 men stood there and talked about the vehicle. It had a gas engine, sliding passenger door, but only the driver and passenger seats. Otherwise, it was all cargo area. Cole got the VIN and ran it on his cell phone. Nothing raised red flags. He gave Hank a nod. Hank took it on a test drive. His skills with engines would make it easy for him to spot anything amiss. Cole sat in Hank's pickup with the doors locked while he waited for Hank and the owner to get back. After the test drive, Hank got in the passenger seat of his own truck. He motioned Cole to leave. He told Cole it wasn't a good deal. It was out of alignment. It'd need to go to a tire shop before they could use it. They didn't have that kind of time. The next van they looked at was in Surprise, a suburb of Phoenix. It was parked in front of a big 2-story house with an immaculate yard. Interestingly enough, it was almost identical to the one they had looked at. Hank took it for a test drive while Cole ran the VIN. It came back clean. It had been owned by a gentleman for 2 years and used for flower deliveries for his wife's florist shop. She had decided to retire. They didn't need the van, though it had performed well for them. It had never been in a wreck. They had purchased it from a used dealer after the original owner had bought it and sold it within a week because it was too small. The owner was curious what they'd use it for, so they told him they were going to help a startup brewery distribute beer. They had made a deal with the owner of the brewery, so they said. They'd take beer in exchange for cash. Of course, that was a lie. The way to carry off a lie was to stick as close to the truth as possible. They would carry beer in there from that brewery in Pine. It just wasn't the only thing they'd carry. The owner praised them for their sense of community. Money exchanged hands. Cole drove the van off the slab as Hank followed him up to the house in North Phoenix Cole stayed at with Jesse, Elaine, and the two security guys. They took their time going through the van. They wanted to make sure nothing was left in there that could cause them issues, like forgotten security devices. Hank crawled underneath to double check. Nothing raised red flags. They had the first step done for their delivery in the morning. They walked into the house. No one else was there. They grabbed beers and went outside. They discussed their plans for the following day. Hank's pickup would stay parked at the house. Cole would drive it up to Pine that afternoon to pick up some Arizona Trail Ale beer, while Hank took the van wherever he'd pick up the cocaine. Diana saw you and Bonnie at the movie set yesterday, Cole told Hank. Hank turned to stare at Cole. So? Cole shrugged. Keeping you in the loop, Red. Hank nodded. Diana is an airhead. Don't worry about it. Cole got them each one more beer. There was nothing more to discuss. Plans were made. The only thing left was to put them in motion.